This show was designed to celebrate the art and artists of our region, and we were lucky to have artists from 3 states. We had Connecticut, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire. Photography, painting. We didn't get any sculpture this year, but maybe next year. And we're just thrilled with the variety of art we got. The quality of the art we got is fabulous. And we're just so thankful that all of you came out to see it tonight. Thank you so much to everyone for coming.
The show was made possible by the Lancaster and Massachusetts Cultural Council, and we could not have done it without them and without the support of our artists and many volunteers. I'll put in a plug for the Community Crier, which is our local newsletter, and we cover the region. We don't care about age or address, so sign up for that online, and you'll see a little more about what's going on. So thank you so much, and thank you SLC TV and the staff who put up with us.
And a special thank you to Chris Hersch, who
Yes.
came from Boston tonight to play music. He's a wonderful musician.
I'm with Jane Pascoe, a local artist who has agreed to come on camera and tell us a little bit about her work at this show. So Jane,
Yes.
interesting work here.
Thanks.
Tell me about it. What kind of media, what technique did you use, and why?
Okay, these 4 pieces are mine. This is over the year 2021, starting in January. And I started with this piece right here. It's kind of a winter piece, so that was January, and then I went from there. Thank you. So, I've been wanting to get back into doing art for a while, and I just started going up. I made myself an art studio, went up and started painting, and made sure I did it 2 hours a day. And these are acrylic. My technique, I don't know, this was a still life. And I kind of got inspired from this other art here. So, yep, all on canvas.
What inspired you to get into art in the first place, and why is it important to you?
Okay. Well, I've been an artist, I guess. I don't know. I don't like labels, but let's just say I've been creating art since I was little. My first art teacher was Mrs. Rand. I don't know if anybody remembers her, but I started off with pastels with Mrs. Rand and went from there, took from several different art teachers. And I haven't done it in a while, but, you know, adulting happens, life happens, and you kind of drift away from it for a while and do other things. So I kind of came back to it. I said, I have to get back to doing this because I miss doing it. So I just said, I'm just going to start. And my mantra was, it's okay to create bad art. Just do it. Someone's going to like it, someone's not going to like it. It's okay.
As long as you like it.
Yes, exactly.
Now, I understand you are juried. Is that correct?
Apparently so, yes.
So the question I have for you is, how difficult was it to be juried by the Cultural Council?
For me, very nerve-wracking for me because I am my own worst critic, really. Like, I would say, nobody's going to like this. But I made myself do it, and I was very surprised that they accepted 4 pieces out of 5. Shocked, actually. I'm very surprised, but I'm happy. I'm happy to be here in my hometown, and it was nerve-wracking, but I'm relieved and I'm happy that they chose it.
Well, congratulations. The work is very, very interesting.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you find it very satisfying to be doing this.
I do. It's hard to know when it's done, but I just have to say, okay, I can't do it anymore. I'm done. I mean, one piece may take me like 15 to 20 hours to do, but you got to do it. So I'm happy to be here. And congratulations to everyone else that got chosen, all their work. It's some beautiful work here. I hope you get to walk around and see more of the work. It's wonderful. I'm so happy. I didn't know we had so many talented artists in town. It's amazing, really. Yeah. Thank you, Terry.
Well, thank you.
I'm a botanical and naturalist painter, and I work pretty much on vellum, which is animal skin. And I use watercolor on vellum, and vellum can be anything from deer skin, which is what I did the Jack in the Pulpit on, goat skin, which is the skunk cabbage, and calf skin. And there are many other types, but those are I pretty much work on calf skin and goat skin using watercolor paint.
Is that more difficult than working with, say, just plain paper?
Well, it's challenging in that the paint doesn't get absorbed into the skin. It sits on the surface of the skin. So when you're working with pigments and water, it has to be the right balance. Otherwise, you lift the paint off the skin. So it's very easy to use too much water and find yourself lifting the paint off of your work. And vellum requires many thin layers of paint because it's very translucent, and so you have to be careful that you're not lifting paint. It's a long process, so you don't want to do that.
This is definitely a labor of love.
Yeah, it is.
So that begs the obvious question, why is art important to you?
Well, I feel that we're meant to be creative souls, and whether, that could mean anything. It could be photography, it could be house painting. I think people need some sort of creative outlet, and for me, it's just a very therapeutic thing I do. And, you have to have the right mindset too. I mean, when you're tense and, wired from a day, it's a little, it might not be the best time to sit down and paint, but you know when it's right, and it really is. I think creativity is imperative to well-being.
It sounds like a real, seriously real labor of love.
Yes, it is. It is. It was a beautiful evening. The Massachusetts Cultural Council supports events like this, and that's so important, especially after 2 years of being isolated and not having events. Things are opening up, and cultural councils are such a big part of making it happen.
Certainly, we all appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm with Carol. Carol is one of the artists at the show. Carol, could you tell me about your work?
Thanks, Terry. Yes, this is a painting of peonies that I did. I saw a photo of them, and it really took my heart away, and I says, all the different colors that were in this white, I said, I don't know if I can do it. So I really challenged myself, and I sat down and I started doing it. And I painted like 2-inch sections at a time, because that's about all that I had the attention to do. So it took me quite a while, maybe like 4 days to do it, but it was really a work of my heart, and it took all my concentration to get all the different shades and mixed and painted on there, and it's one of my favorite paintings.
How long did it actually take you to do that?
Probably about 2 or 3 days.
See, I was expecting you were going to say 2 or 3 months from the detail in it.
It goes along pretty good once you get started, because you get addicted to it and you don't want to leave it.
I can see doing this would be very relaxing, but also the concentration's got to be pretty tiring.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it takes a lot of energy to do it, believe it or not. So that's why I can only do a little bit at a time.
And how long have you been doing this?
I've been painting for like 30 years, but just since I retired, seriously. I'm taking a class, an online program, and we have at least 3 paintings to do a month. So, the instructor is Kelly Folsom out of Denver, Colorado, and she starts every painting the same way. So you do it often enough, and it just becomes ingrained, and you can do it faster and faster. It's been a very rewarding class. I really enjoy it.
So obviously, art is very important to you.
It is.
Can you tell me why it's important and why it's important to pass this on to other generations that are coming up?
It's just a very rewarding, self-rewarding thing. Most artists work by themselves. So it's just very rewarding to do it. It's relaxing. It's supposed to help your blood pressure and all this sort of thing. But it really, really takes a long time. You really have to be committed to putting the time in, and no matter what professional artist you speak to, they're going to tell you got to put the brush miles in. Doesn't matter how many classes you take or how you can go to lessons with the best artists, but they're all going to tell you the same thing. You got to do it every day. And I've been painting almost every day in the last year and a half or so.
So
My work has really improved since I've been doing that.
What's the message you want to give to the upcoming generations?
Well, personally, I can't give a whole lot because I'm not a teacher, but any of the artists that do teach give you their heart and soul, and it behooves anybody that has any interest in art at all to try to take a lesson from somebody and just start somewhere. We all started at the beginning, so our work is, it's live and learn. It's about all you can do.
Definitely sounds evolutionary. Well, listen, I want to thank you for taking the time to visit with us. The work is really, really very, very nice, and I wish you a lot of success in the future.
Thank you.